ABC Action News is keeping you informed this election year. We're offering candidates in the major races 5 minutes to talk about the issues. Here's Dan Schaefer with tonight's Democracy 2010 profile with state attorney candidate Pam Bondi.
I'm here now with Pam Bondi. She is the Republican nominee for Attorney General and a familiar face to many of us, former prosecutor for Hillsborough County. Thanks very much for joining us for Democracy 2010.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me, Dan.
Well, let's jump right into it. We're going to start with health care reform. Current Attorney General, of course, along with attorneys general from several states, is challenging President Obama's health care reforms. We wanted to know, if you're elected Attorney General, would you continue this effort to overturn these reforms, and why?
Absolutely. And 19 other states have joined in with Florida. We're taking the lead on this health care litigation. In fact, I attended the oral arguments in Pensacola, so I got to hear the attorneys general from all 20 states and the Department of Justice argue to dismiss the motion. And yes, I would wholeheartedly continue it. I believe we need tremendous health care reform in our country, but this is not the way to do it. It would cost our state in excess of $1 billion, and of course we have to have a balanced budget. That would be unsustainable. The Department of Justice's response to that was, well, then drop out of Medicaid, which of course we're not going to do as a state. So I believe it's unconstitutional. I believe it violates our 10th Amendment rights, and I would be proud to continue the lawsuit on behalf of the state of Florida.
Some are calling Amendment 4 the most important on the November ballot. It's known as the Hometown Democracy Act. I know you're very familiar with this. It would give voters the right to approve any changes in the growth issues of their local comprehensive plan. Now, if the idea is to control sprawling growth, opponents say it will raise taxes and create another layer of bureaucracy, perhaps even extend the recession. But are you for or against Amendment 4, and why?
I'm telling everyone I know to vote no to Amendment 4. It could be devastating for our state. We've seen it happen in St. Pete Beach, right around the corner from us. And what it means is anytime a landowner wants to make changes to their property, it has to go to vote. The vote of the people, and that could shut down our state. I can tell you the only ones who are going to benefit are the lawyers, and that's what they're experiencing in St. Pete Beach with Amendment 4. So I know they've started advertising their websites. People can go on to find out more about it, but in this economy and with our state, it would be devastating to our state. So people really need to become educated about these amendments that are on the ballot this time, and 4 is one of the most important ones.
Florida's longstanding ban on gay adoptions recently struck down by a Florida appeals court. And do you believe that gay people should be allowed to adopt here in Florida? Well,
I have never given my personal opinion on it because, excuse me, this case is pending litigation. And right now, what happened was Florida is one of the only states, by the way, in the country that does not allow gay adoption. But the circuit court in South Florida overruled the ban on gay adoption. That was appealed to the DCA, and the District Court of Appeal down in South Florida upheld the ruling, saying that gay adoption is now legal. So the status of the case is General McCollum, the Attorney General's office, they are the lawyer, and they represent the client, and the client is the Department of Children and Families. So they're having confidential conversations that neither of us are privy to, and they're making the decision now whether or not to take it to the Supreme Court. Now, I've read that even the ACLU wants it to go to the Supreme Court to have finality, because we all know in the court system for so many years that because the third DCA's ruled, the first DCA or the second DCA could do something different. So if I had to guess, I would guess that it would go to the Supreme Court, let the Supreme Court make a decision, and then we'll have finality on the issue.
Another family issue, Charlie Crist recently vetoed a law known as the ultrasound bill that would require women seeking an abortion to undergo an ultrasound. They don't have to look at the pictures, but they at least have to have that procedure done. And we wanted to know, your opponents still say it is too intrusive, and would you have supported that?
I would have. Of course, I'm not a lawmaker, but I would have. I have a 6-year-old Down syndrome niece who is the love of my life. She's God's greatest gift to our family. And I would have supported that. And you're right. There was a lot of misconception. Women would not be required to view it, but they would be required to have an ultrasound. Right now, 82% of doctors performing abortions say that they already perform an ultrasound. So what this would do would be to give women an option to view it before making probably the most important decision in their lives. So yes, I would have supported that.
All right, I appreciate it. We're out of time. Thank you. Pam Bondi,
you.
Republican nominee for Attorney General. And, of course, you'll be facing Dan Gelber in the general election, which is November 2nd.
Thank you.